when the Army's own manuals say it's going to kill them, soft kill, deader than a hammer later. But how are they going to handle this? Months ago, in the Chicago Tribune, the head of the TSA said, we will, in the next few years, it will be mandatory. There will be no opt-out secondary search. Then we had a caller, and 99% of the time, if a caller's telling the truth, which they almost always are, you can search whatever they're saying and find it. It's already open source. There's so much media out there. Nothing gets missed. That's where the real intelligence gathering is going on for the private individuals who are fighting the globalist and the globalists themselves. And the caller was a pilot, and he called in and said they're forcing everyone at this particular Texas airport, it was El Paso, to go through it. And I searched El Paso Times, everyone being body scanned. Voila, there it was, already going on 3 months ago. Now, if you try to refuse, they get you in there and they wand you and they squeeze your legs and they violate your privacy. They got federal grants for cops to take blood at checkpoints. It's all about them getting in your body. Bill Clinton's got an executive order on record they never implemented to take urine and blood to get a driver's license. Now it's being proposed in New York. It's being proposed in other states. They're now trying to take blood, or they're saying we'll waive your fees if you opt in to give us blood. See, I mean, we know what the plan is. So they're going to harass you and squeeze your genitals, and here it is, ABC News, and get their hands on you if they can't get that naked body scan of your body for their records. If they can't bathe you in the radiation chamber. Pat-downs or full body scans. Security gets more personal at airports. As TSA changes airport pat-down procedure, some ask if security's gone too far. And then it goes on to say they are increasing the pat-downs. It's more of an enhanced pat-down. And you can see it on the news where they literally grab a woman's breast and then just squeeze around the edges. Let me make sure these are real. And there's a husband right there, or there's a father or a mother watching their 14-year-old daughter, and there's that TSA worker just, oh, yeah. Doesn't get any better than this. They love it. Next time you pass through security in some airports around the country, you may face a difficult dilemma. Would you rather have a revealing full body scan or what some are calling X-rated pat-down? Some passengers opt out of the full body scan, concerned about the low dose of radiation emitted by the high-tech body scanners that are being put in place in many terminals. And what about them saving the image of your naked body? The machines also are able to see beneath clothes, creating a photorealistic picture of the passenger's body. But for those who refuse the scan, the alternative pat-down is about to get equally thorough. And there's a video clip. Watch World News Tonight with Dan Sawyer for more on the story. Starting Friday, the TSA is changing its pat-down procedure. So they want to force you to do the naked body scan. TSA officers used a pat-down procedure with the backs of their hands, but now they'll use the fronts of their hands to search more than ever before. And see, this was all about training the TSA people, too, to get the backs of their hands down a woman's inside of her thighs, and you kind of see them going, ooh, and then up over their hind end, and then up over their sides. I mean, it's a feel down, kind of like it's your wife. Oh, baby, you go up her thighs, up her waist, up under her arms. It's a romantic thing. Not anymore. It's men and women doing this to you. And it's about training the TSA. Well, now the hands are going like this. And now they're going on your breast and on your genitals, and they squeeze them to make sure it's not an Al-Qaeda booby trap. Oh, boy. Now, listen to this. They will put their hands on body parts that were once off limits. See, well, it's for Al-Qaeda. Starting Friday, the TSA is changing its pat-down procedure. TSA officers used to pat down passengers with the backs of their hands, but now they'll use the fronts of their hands to search more than ever before. In some cases, touching body parts that were once off limits. Genitals and breast. Genitals and breast. They are going to put their hands on your private parts. They're going to squeeze them. They're going to touch them. They're going to enjoy themselves. And that's why they've had so many TSA workers busted raping children. So, this is the way they humiliate you. This is how they teach you. This is how they train you. And all the cases of where women have piercings, and they take them behind closed doors and go, here's a pair of pliers, remove that piercing. They can see full well it's metal. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we're just being trained basically for giant gas chambers. I mean, that's what this is. They're training you to take your urine, take your blood at checkpoints to get DMV. They're openly announcing they're going to have giant checkpoints on the news that body scan you to go to a football game, to go to a theater event, to go hear the opera, everything. This is everyone being inculcated, worse than Nazi Germany, and the government is staging the terror attacks. And even if you don't believe that fact, they are using it on you in their own internal documents. You are the target. And it goes on to describe pilots are refusing to have their genitals grabbed. Women are refusing. People get angry. And you know what? How many people have been beaten to death in the U.S. and Canada and England? You hear about all the time. Oh, she choked herself on the handcuffs that were behind her back. Oh, we jumped on this guy's head and broke his neck. We don't know why he died. You start talking back. They pull out a billy club and a taser and just, you don't want me touching your genitals? Yeah! Yeah! You're going to submit to us, and the bankers are going to take all the money you got, and we're going to search your houses and look through your walls with big X-ray vans, and we're going to leave the borders wide open, and the top of Al-Qaeda is going to have dinner at the Pentagon, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. Nothing. We're going to squeeze.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Why almost all politicians, teachers, and preachers are dead wrong about how to keep this country from becoming a total dictatorship. If that headline got your attention, then you know the only way back. The only way back to true freedom and liberty in America. Have you ever wondered about whether your personal and religious liberty will survive? After all, what good are gold, silver, and survival supplies in a concentration camp? And have you ever thought about what kind of America you're leaving to your kids and grandkids? Then theonlywayback.com is an open online letter you must read. Find out where true liberty comes from and discover the foundations of freedom by going to theonlywayback.com. If you're a patriot who truly wants to help rebuild this nation, call 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Or visit theonlywayback.com and do it today. It's the only way back.
This is not America. This is not freedom. This is not security. This is the baptism of tyranny, the baptism of oppression, the baptism of the end of dignity. Little piece of me. We die for the system. We're going to be talking about the economy, the election, all that's happening. In fact, I'm going to get into it right now with Bob Chapman coming up. Then we have the head of one of the biggest unions and involved with the government, the parliament, the prime minister decrying him in Australia, going public for 9/11 Truth. He's joining us from Australia during the last hour to get into people standing up and having courage, because 9/11 is being used to enslave all of us, regardless of what you really think happened with it. Shouldn't the head of Al-Qaeda dining at the Pentagon 2 months after 9/11 be an issue? Or are we supposed to just forget that and send our kids to the naked body scanners? By the way, Rob Dew shot video at the airport a few months ago that we've never shown. He just reminded me of it, of people being sent through naked body scanners and then having the enhanced pat-down done. So, oh, you don't want to go through a body scanner? We're just going to humiliate you. We're going to touch your private parts. This has nothing to do with fighting terror. Okay, I'm done talking about that for now. Later we'll have that video. And they always have these little stage fear-mongering events to remind us of, how important the whole police state is to all of us. Now, I'm going to go through the numbers and what's happening in the states, but I've been really studying it in depth the last few weeks. And Sharon Angle is pulling away with about a 5-point lead in most of the polls. What I do is go through an index of polls in Nevada against Harry Reid. Rand Paul had lost some of his lead of, on average, about 9 points, down to about 5. Now he surged back to 9 points ahead in some polls, 10, 11, 12 points in others, in scientific polls. But that doesn't mean they're going to win, because even Sharon Angle's lawyer has said clearly Harry Reid is trying to steal this election. And in the biggest county in Nevada, there have been thousands of reports of not being able to vote for Sharon Angle for Senate. You can only vote for Harry Reid, and they're calling that a glitch. It's not a glitch that most of the troops didn't get their ballots, or that the ballots they did get have been lost, being shipped back to the United States from all the countries they're in. Different election officials have been indicted in Florida and several other states in the last week, caught red-handed. It's usually people running for higher office who happen to be the election officials who are being caught with their hands directly in the cookie jar. And that is a serious conflict of interest. So we're going to see more dirty tricks, but it is now starting to get picked up by more newspapers and TV in Kentucky. The Jack Conway cover-up, he and his prosecutor brother getting tipped off about a narcotics raid, and then his brother and others lying about it once they got caught, and the detectives lying about it. They've been caught red-handed in what is clear obstruction of justice. That's really stinging him hard. So good job for everybody getting that information out. But I'm really worried about Rand Paul, because he's more than just a man. He's more than just a senatorial candidate who it looks like is going to win 3 days from now. It's just 3 full days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's about 3.5 days until Tuesday and the election. And it looks like a complete wave of Republican victories. If I had to guess, the Republicans will get 50 seats in the House of Representatives and 9 seats to 10 seats. If they get 10, they take the Senate back in the U.S. Senate. But there is election fraud. And the good thing is, this is a much better crop of Republicans than came in '94, who were neocons, led by Newt Gingrich. Boehner and others, though he's an acolyte of Gingrich, no, they're all gone in 2 years if they don't deliver the end of Obamacare, the end of carbon taxes, and the rest of it. The problem is they also want the naked body scanners in the police state. But there are a lot of good candidates in there. This is a big victory against the globalists. We'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, Who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right